guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna do a dorm tour. Right now I am not in my dorm. I'm actually at home for summer break, but I filmed the dorm tour like on my last week of school, and at the time I didn't have time to film an intro, so here's the intro. I'm gonna keep this short because I know you just want to get to the tour, but before we get into it, I just want to tell you some information about the dorm that I was living in. So I go to NYU. I lived in Rubin Hall, which is a dorm only for first year students. I think there's probably like 6 or 7 first year dorms to choose from, and so if you're not familiar with like the application process, when you're applying for housing as a first year, you basically have to rank every dorm from what your #1 choice is to your very last choice. And let me just say, Rubin was my second to last choice. When I was doing my research at the time, Rubin did not have AC, but like the past year that I was there, that was the first year they had AC because they like underwent like a huge renovation and they added AC. So when I was there was AC, thank God. So at the time of applying, like I wasn't really aware that there was AC, so I just knew that they were known for not having AC, so I was like, okay, yeah, I don't really want to deal with that. So I put it second to last, and honestly I would bump Rubin up all the way to #1 because Rubin is so good. Being someone who has lived in Rubin, like I can definitely like vouch and say that Rubin is worth a #1 spot. So if you're like in the process of figuring out how to rank, which I'm sure that's what you're doing right now and that's why you're watching this, don't automatically think that you're going to get your #1 choice because you might not. So don't like be too set on getting that. But if I'm being so honest, I think any of the NYU dorms would be good. Like from what I've seen and what I've heard, the only dorm that I would not want to live in is Weinstein. And even like I feel like some people in Weinstein may like ride or die for Weinstein, but it all kind of just depends on who you are. Now I lived in a lower cost triple, which basically is just a regular triple. The reason that it's called a lower cost triple is just because like it's a triple and it has like that extra person. When I was applying for housing, like I didn't really understand what the main difference was between like lower cost housing and then like regular housing, because I kind of assumed that like the room itself would just not be as nice. But the thing that makes it lower cost is just that there's an extra person, so it's a lower cost triple. So yeah, I was in a lower cost triple. I picked one of my roommates. We found each other on Instagram, and then the other roommate we got was totally random because you're only allowed to choose one roommate. So that's kind of how that worked out. Also, if you're looking like for the lower cost options, like only certain dorms have lower cost option. And if you're trying to figure out whether lower cost is like worth it or not, I mean, from my experience, it's been worth it. Like I really couldn't have afforded not getting lower cost. So like, yes, to me, it's worth it. So if saving money is really important to you, and if you're someone who's open-minded to living with 2 other people, then I would definitely go for the triple. But if you know you're someone who needs their like privacy, then maybe go for the double. Personally, I'm definitely like an introvert at heart and I need my alone time, but living in a triple wasn't horrible for me. Like I was fine with it. And if I wanted like to not be bothered, then I would just put my headphones in. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I feel like I kind of went on a little tangent there, and I know I said I was gonna keep this short. So let's just get into the tour, but stay tuned till the end to like hear me talk a little bit more about Rubin and give you like some pros and cons.
Okay guys, let's start over here. This is like the door that goes into the hallway. I'm not gonna go into the hallway because I don't want to encounter anybody. So kind of use your imagination as to what it looks like when you're coming into the room. But that's the main door. My door is actually right in front of the elevator, so I'm always hearing people like go in and out, which is interesting. But right as you walk in, you obviously see the closet space, which is actually kind of big. This one's mine. She's a little messy. You have the top. All those clothes are just random. And then I have like towels back there, some purses, belts, and then my Tide Pods. And then you have this hanging rod thingy. But I basically just hang up all my jackets and then shirts that I don't want wrinkled. And then at the bottom we have my shoes, which literally always look like a mess, but let's not talk about that. And then we also have space at the top to keep stuff, which is nice. And then on the side we have a trash can. It came with the room. And then we have a broom. I don't know whose broom that is, but it's definitely not mine. But this is what it looks like when you walk in from the door. And then on this side we have the bathroom. It's like a sliding door, which is cool. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty nice. And the flooring in here is really nice too, because like it all like just got redone. Carpet, my roommate bought it, so I don't really know where it's from. Shower, obviously. This is what it looks like inside. We had to buy that. We did have one of those corner shower caddies, but it kept falling down, so we decided to buy this, which is a shower caddy that you're supposed to hang on the shower head, but it actually kept falling down, so we decided to just get command hooks and put them on the command hooks. And then we have our loofahs there. We just put little like suction cup thingies on the wall. And then we have the mirror. It actually opens and you can like put your stuff in there. Sink, and then there's a cabinet. We keep all of our like cleaning products underneath and like toilet paper. But as you can see, like counter space is like non-existent, which I don't appreciate. But my roommate, she bought this little caddy thingy. I think she got it off of Amazon. I don't really know, but we keep some of our stuff on there. And then we have a hand towel there that's held up by another little suction cup thingy. And then there's one one outlet in here. Toilets, soap, paper towels. In the corner, we have a trash can, which one of my roommates brought. A scrubby thingy, brush thing. What are these called? A toilet scrubber. I honestly don't know if that came with the room. I'm assuming it didn't. And then there's a plunger back there, which I know didn't come with the room because I actually had to buy it. And then there's a toilet paper. And then on this wall, there's like 3 hooks that like came with the room. And so we just hang our towels on here. Then here's the light switch. Oh my gosh, also, this is the light switch. The light switch in the little entryway. And then also like the main room. Like it's kind of cool because like you can like adjust it. Like this like makes it darker. And then this makes it lighter. So that's cool. We honestly don't really use it, but it's cool. Anyways, on to like the main room. This is kind of like a general overview. It may look a little small, which it kind of is because it's a studio, but at the same time, me and my roommates are pretty small people, so like it's not really that much of a problem. But this is how we have it set up. I don't exactly know how the beds looked before we got here because I was the last one to move in, but I know for a fact it was a bunk bed and then one single bed, and you can unbunk the beds. So my roommates went ahead and unbunked them and like arranged the room like this. It is kind of like a tight squeeze right here. Like only one person can really fit through this little path at a time, and this chair kind of gets in the way when you're walking, but like again, me and my roommates like are small people, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But yeah, this is like the setup. Over here we have a trash can, which also came with the room, the light switch, which also has like that thingy I was talking about that adjusts the brightness. But I'm really just gonna show you my side. This is what I got going on. I honestly really like that this is like my little corner because I like how my desk is like right beside my bed, so I kind of get like that little nightstand, and it really does just feel like my little area right here. Let's start over here and then like work our way over. So we have this mirror. I got it from Target and I got it on sale for like $4. I remember at the beginning of the year they were selling them for like probably like 15 bucks because everybody was trying to buy a mirror because everybody was moving in. And eventually, as the weeks passed, they started selling them at a discount, and I was able to get it for $4. Over it, we have like a little cleaning schedule. It just says who cleans what. It kind of looks like a mess, but we get it, so that's all that matters. And then here's the desk. On the side, I have a little hook. I just keep my umbrella on it, and then everything on here is literally so random. It's honestly low-key kind of a mess. I have some books and like papers and notebooks and stuff for class. It's like just a bag of like pens and markers. Oh my gosh, I have this fan. My school gave it to me like on the very first week of school because it was so hot. I just keep that there. This is my go-to purse. And then I have this cup, which I use to fill up my Brita water bottle. I just get water from the sink in the bathroom, but the sink in the bathroom, I can't really explain it, but I just can't fit my water bottle underneath the nozzle on the sink, but I can fit this cup underneath the nozzle. So I fill up this cup and then I fill up my water bottle. So I keep the cup there. And we have this second shelf, a bunch of random stuff, perfumes, deodorant, some hair stuff. This is my little jewelry box. I got it from Shein. I definitely recommend. This is like really good for traveling. Then I have just random stuff that I've kind of collected. And then over here I have my books. This little collection has fluctuated throughout the years because every time I've gone home for break, I've brought my books back home. So as of right now, this is all I have. But there was a point where like the books like were all the way like to here. My allergy medicine, which isn't really working for me. And then my lip mask, I keep it right here because like it's easy access from my bed. And then I have this little basket. There's literally like just a bunch of random stuff in there. Like I have some nail files, nail clippers, but I got this basket from Target. That's that shelf. And then we have the actual desk. Now I struggled for a while trying to figure out how to decorate, and I literally just put these up like a month or two ago. And right now as I'm filming this, like it's my last week of school, but this is what I got going on. But over here we have like my makeup stuff, my brushes. I actually made this cup, or not made, I painted this cup on the first week of school. Like my school like had little events for us to do. Like you could sign up for certain activities, and one of the activities was painting pottery. And I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be so cute. So I did that, got it for free, which we love. But I literally love it. I use it to hold my makeup brushes. I have this mirror. My friend's mom gave it to me, but I'm pretty sure she got it from Five Below. But I'm really glad she got it for me because this is actually a must-have. This actually lights up, but like it's kind of dull, so I don't even use it. And then I have my makeup bag with all my makeup. I have my sticky notes and pencils, my lip gloss. I have this lamp, which is literally like my favorite thing ever because it's kind of dark over here, I'm not gonna lie. So I usually have it on like 90% of the time. It was actually a graduation present, so I don't know where it's from, but I'm sure you can find one on Amazon. And then this is my remote for my LED lights. I actually like have them like that, which is very cute in the night. I have this little jewelry holder that I got from Shein, my glasses, my AirPods. I have this charger that connects to my lamp, which is nice. Then I have this random little disco ball. I bought it at the beginning of the year when I was trying to like figure out how to decorate my desk. And I went to this little costume shop thingy near my dorm and they had that. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I kind kind of want that for my desk. So we have that. That's cute. It's like hung up by a little command hook. And then going further down, this is a chair. It's not that cute, I'm not gonna lie. And the first few times you sit in it, you're probably gonna think you're falling because when you lean back in it, it like kind of rocks in a weird way, but you'll get used to it. And then we have the drawer. It's not very hollow, but it is big. But yeah, I just keep a bunch of random stuff in there. And then we have these little drawers. You can actually like roll it out. But this top one is my snack drawer. Very crucial to have. And then this one is more like self-care stuff. Like this is like a bag of nail polish, have some Q-tips, tissues, band-aids, random stuff. And then on the top, I like have random paper. But yeah, that's the desk. Okay, let's go over here. This is literally like crazy. I have a bunch of boxes just stacked in this little corner. Every time I get an Amazon order, I save my boxes because I'm actually about to move out. So I need boxes to put my stuff in. So I've literally been hoarding boxes. Like it's kind of crazy. It's like Tetris back here, but I just put them all here because there was this weird empty gap here. And then the bed, my bed's on bed risers, so it's like tall. I literally always use my chair to get on the bed because if I don't, then I literally have to jump onto the bed, which I really don't want to do. So I always use my chair. But this is the bed. It's never made because I never have time. I have a mattress topper. You can kind of see it, but I have a mattress topper. I definitely recommend. I kid you not, I think I sleep better in this bed than my bed at home because the mattress topper is so soft. I got a 4-inch one off of Amazon, and I definitely think it's worth investing in a mattress topper, especially a good one. I only have 3 pillows. I got them from Target. I would recommend investing in pillows too, like good pillows, because these pillows honestly aren't very good. Like they're very like flat, which I don't really like. At the beginning they were fluffy, but like obviously the more I use them, the flatter they got. Again, they were from Target. I literally bought them for like $3 each. So yeah, definitely think about that before you buy cheap pillows from Target. Next year I'm definitely going to try to get better quality pillows. But all my bedding, I got it from Amazon. This was like a set, and then I have this satin pillowcase that I had at home already. I think I got it from like TJ Maxx, so I just brought it up here. And then I do have this blanket, which is literally like my favorite blanket from home. And then all of these posters are literally from Shein. I know we shouldn't be shopping on Shein, but like I'm a broke college student, I'm sorry, but I like what we have going on here. I think it very much showcases my personality and my interests, which I love. And then underneath the bed, it's very spacious because I have the bed risers, but these 2 drawers obviously came with the room, and they're pretty spacious, and that's coming from someone who has a lot of clothes. I keep like my socks and underwear and stuff in here. That's my sleep stuff. Those are my pants, and then the bottom one are my tops. And then I just have a bunch of random clothes on the top. This is kind of like my overflow spot. And then I have my laundry basket, which I got from Target. I definitely recommend like getting a laundry bag rather than a basket because those are just easier. But back here, I have more boxes. Like again, it's literally like Tetris back here. Here's my suitcase, a backpack that I only use whenever I'm traveling. And then this is my tote bag that I use for class. And then back here, there is an outlet, which is nice. I think like every bed like kind of has an outlet near it. So we love that. But yeah, that is my side of the room. She's cute. She's simple. She gets the job done. Oh, let me show you the view. Okay, so over here, like we have like a little window seal. If you really wanted to, you could like put pillows here and kind of make like a little makeshift reading nook. That could be cute, but we clearly did not do that. This is the AC. It's so loud. Right now I'm using a mic, but if I turn off the mic, you can clearly hear how loud it actually is. And then there's another vent thingy up there, which is also pretty loud, but it's not bad enough to where I want to like not live here. And then this is our view. Clearly it's so nice. We got so lucky because when you're a freshman, you don't get to actually pick your room. They randomly give you a room, and we randomly got this room. So she's cute. We get good sunsets, but at the same time we can also people watch, which is great. The Empire State Building's that way. We can't see it, but it is that way. And then Washington Square Park is like a minute walk that way. So this location is just so good. It does come with blinds. I really don't know how to work it, but you can put the blinds down if you really want to, but we never put them down because our view is just too good. And you can also open the window, but it like doesn't open like a normal window. Oh my god, it's so heavy. You have to like pull it. I don't know if you can see, but like the top is just like cracked open, so it doesn't like actually open all the way. It just like cracks from the top. So yeah, that's the room. I actually have to go right now because I've been filming this for so long, but the next clip is gonna be future me talking about the pros and cons of living in Rubin, so let's just go to that.
Okay, welcome back. Now we can talk about like pros and cons of living in Rubin. And honestly, like the stuff I have to say, like there's not really any cons. Like I'm being so serious when I say that Rubin is so good. Like I think anybody who lives lives in Rubin will seriously like ride or die for Rubin, because Rubin is like actually really nice. So one pro is that it's like actually just like nice. Like the dorm itself is nice. I think I mentioned this, but like they went through a huge renovation where they added AC, they redid all the rooms, and on the second floor there's like a lounge, and I don't know if it was there before, but they either added it or like renovated it and like redid everything. But either way, there's a really nice lounge, and in this lounge area, like there's couches, there's a kitchen, there's a TV room, there's like practice rooms for people who like perform, and then there's like a bunch of like study rooms. There's a printer, which sometimes doesn't work, but there's a printer, there's a vending machine, then there's a basement with the laundry room. So yeah, like Rubin itself, like as a building, is just really, really nice. So definitely recommend if you want to prioritize just like having a nice space and a nice building to live in. I will say some cons, they're not even cons, it's just like something that comes with the building. Rubin has really small elevators, which sounds like whatever, like you're probably gonna be like, who cares how big the elevators are? Elevators are very important in New York City, so having big elevators is like a nicer thing to have. Again, this is like so like tedious, it does not matter how big the elevator is, but like for the first like month maybe you're living in Rubin, I'm assuming this happens like every year in Rubin, but there's only 3 elevators and they're so tiny. So at the beginning of the year, people would try to cram as many people into the elevator as they could, and then they would end up getting stuck, and then the fire department would come because people were stuck in the elevator. Eventually, like after the first month, they made it like a rule to like not have more than 6 people in the elevator, because usually if there's more than 6 people in the elevator, like that's what leads to it getting stuck. So yeah, the elevators are small, and there's 3 elevators and there's like 15 floors, and if I were to guess, there's probably close to like 600 people living in the building. So 3 elevators, 15 floors, 600 people, about 6 people per elevator. That can get a little annoying, but again, it's not like something like do or die, but you definitely have to pick and choose your moments and remember like, oh, the elevators might be slower because class is about to start, so more people are probably going to be on the elevator. Another really random thing that sucks, but like I don't think this is a Rubin thing, like I think it's a New York thing, period. No matter where you live in New York, it's gonna be like this, but whenever it's really warm outside, and depending on like what time of year it is, it can get really warm and sometimes like humid in your room. And what I didn't know until like the last week of school is that New York has a law where the building can't have its AC on until a certain date in the year. So for instance, school starts in September. I think in September they're allowed to have their AC on, but like I think like at the beginning of November, I would guess, is when they have to turn the AC off and turn the heating for the building on. So the whole building has to either be under AC or under heating. So as soon as you turn the heat off, like the AC is not on anymore. So if for some reason there's a warmer day, which the warmer days like happen like, you know, when the seasons change. So if there's a warmer day, like the room itself is gonna be warmer than you want it to be, which again, I think that's a New York thing, period. And it wasn't like anything like unbearable. Like I would just like wear a tank top and like shorts to bed, so I wasn't like dying. But I feel like that's like a really random but important thing to note, because in the beginning, like when it was getting warm, like I was like, why is it so warm? Like, is this just a Rubin thing? And I thought like the AC just like sucked and wasn't working, because as I said, Rubin had just put in AC, so I was like, they put in this AC but it like doesn't work, like what's going on? But eventually like it was fine, because like in the winter you weren't getting like surprise cold days. But literally at the end of the school year, I found out about this law, and now that I'm knowing about it, like I understand why it was so warm. It wasn't a Rubin thing, it was just a New York thing. Hopefully that made sense, because that might not even make sense if you don't live in New York. But once you get to New York, assuming that you're gonna go to NYU, once you get there, it'll make perfect sense. So if your room is excessively hot, don't blame it on the building. It's quite literally like that everywhere. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to bring that up. Okay, back to like the good stuff. The location is perfect. Rubin is on 5th Avenue, which is the same street that the Empire State Building is on. So as soon as you walk out, you see the Empire State Building, which is actually insane. It's like a minute walk from Washington Square Park, which is kind of like the center of NYU's campus. You will walk through Washington Square Park every day to get to class. And all the first year dorms are pretty close to each other. So if you have a friend in another dorm, like it'll be easy to walk to them. I honestly feel like Rubin has the best location, because you can see the Empire State Building as soon as you walk out. You're a minute from the park. You're a minute away from Weinstein, which is another dorm, but in that dorm there's 2 dining halls, so it's so easy to go get food. Also, like Rubin has a really good community. I remember learning about that when I was doing my own dorm research. Like the one thing people would always say and what stood out about Rubin Reuben was that Reuben like has a really good community, and I 100% agree with that. If you're someone who's like worried about not being able to make friends, I think Reuben would be a good choice for you because Reuben is always doing something. I think most, if not all, the dorms have like activities for you to do with like your dorm. Like you have to sign up for them, and then like you go together doing whatever activity it is, like as a group, whether it's like a Broadway show or maybe like a basketball game. But Reuben is always doing something like that. I think every week there's probably at least one event going on, which I think is really cool. Personally, I'm like an introvert, so like I don't participate in stuff like that. But if you're someone who wants to make friends and you're an extrovert, or if you're an introvert and you just want to make more friends, I definitely think Reuben is such a good place for that because of how many events they have. But yeah, there's that. And then also I feel like because Reuben has like the second floor lounge, that is such a crucial part of the community of Reuben. Like people are always on the second floor, like just hanging out, talking. I feel like especially like during like the first week of school, that's where a lot of people find their friends. Like they just go to the second floor and talk to people, which again, introvert. So that is something that I was not doing. But like I've seen a lot of friendships made because of the fact that Reuben has a second floor lounge. So again, the community is great. If you're like someone who is really like looking for a social dorm, I think Reuben is perfect. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Also, my battery's about to die, so I just want to wrap this up. But yeah, that is what Reuben's like. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I hope you enjoyed this little chat we've had. I remember when I was looking into dorms, I was constantly watching videos like this, so I hope I was able to help. But yeah, if you want to see more videos from me, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm not going to be making any NYU videos until next semester, but I'm still going to be making videos. I'm going to try to post twice a week this summer, so if you're looking for someone new to watch, you should stick around. But yeah, I hope the rest of your day is amazing, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye! Oh my god, there's a huge spider like on my window, on the inside of the window. Should I get it? I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going.